Welcome to the Shreveport Connection with Tommy. This video is on your Elimination Chamber pre-show and results. Okay, the Elimination Chamber started off live from Corpus Christi, Texas. And of course, it was on the WWE Network. They had some major issues, like 3 or 4 matches. Didn't get to see during the pay-per-view. So have to do with the dirt sheets to get the results for those matches. Of course, the pre-show, it's not free unless you have the network. All right. Pre-show, of course, Renee Young, Byron Saxton, Booker T, Corey Graves on the panel, acknowledging Rusev was out of the chamber match due to the ankle injury that he suffered on the SmackDown taping. Later will be taking part in a Twitter chat. New Day went to Kane looking for help. He announced that all 3 would be allowed into the Elimination Chamber. But in the same pod, Xavier Woods was worried about being trapped in one pod altogether. Claustrophobia, I guess. So Kane suggested that they start the bout and have to go through everyone. Big E and Kofi wanted nothing to do with that and thanked Kane, pulling Woods away. The panel then discussed John Cena versus Kevin Owens. They aired a great video featuring the bout. They discussed the WWE Divas Championship bout. And you got the pre-show match, Stardust versus Zack Ryder. Woo, woo, woo. And they had a good match with Ryder getting far more offense than usual coming off the John Cena match, including a drop kick off the apron to the floor. It looks like the WWE might have realized they've got a solid hand with Ryder. The announcers noted Stardust issues with actor Stephen Amell coming off Raw and said he was going to unveil a new move. It was the Queen's Crossbow. It's really the Crossroads to continue the issue. JBL said that Ryder failed his city, a reference to Oliver Queen on Arrow being obsessed with saving Starling City. Some solid wrestling here in the social media lounge. Lana said she didn't have any information on Rusev's injury, but doesn't wish anyone harm. She said they no longer speak. On Dolph Ziggler, she said they have a good time, and she has a legitimate interest in him. She was asked how she feels about the United States now. She said that she's judged people in her life when Rusev judged her. It made her realize that perhaps has made a mistake, and now she is trying to see things from other people's perspectives. When asked how she feels about being free from Rusev, she said she chooses to be free and happy despite the circumstances. And then you got Miz TV on the pre-show. Summer Rae gave Miz a bigger introduction, so they are still together in a storyline. Miz came out wearing a new ridiculous black outfit. The crowd crapped on Miz, so he told the crowd to stop booing Summer. He plugged his Marine 4 film, then asked everyone how they missed him. Yeah, that's how it was. They showed footage of Daniel Bryan forfeiting the Intercontinental Championship several weeks ago. Miz introduced Bryan, who came out smiling and did his entrance. Miz said that they have had differences in the past, but the footage was hard for him to watch. He said he wishes Bryan a speedy recovery. Miz asked how Bryan is doing, but every time Bryan tried to answer, Miz made it all about him. Miz said it's tragic. Bryan's career is over, but it's tragic because all of the time Miz put into his career. Bryan said his career is not over and he will be back. He said that while he was out, however, he wrote a book that will be out this July. I've read an advanced copy and it's absolutely great. One of the most honest books about current day WWE. Miz then began knocking Bryan for promoting his 5-day energy drink commercial and said Bryan looks like just another fan instead of looking like a star like Miz and real movie stars do. He offered to help Bryan and would only take 10%. Brian told him to shut up. That got a huge chant started. Brian said that he's here to present the IC title to whoever wins the belt tonight. He said again, his career is not over and he will be back. Miz said that he would normally slap Brian out of the chair, but due to doctor's orders, he can't touch Brian and Brian can't touch him. As this part was shown on the pay-per-view as well, during the pay-per-view for that segment. Brian said he was tired of listening to Miz's advice and said that he finds Miz TV to be boring. He said he had a great way to fix it and brought out Macho Mando and Axelmania. Of course, you know who that is now. Now called. Macho charged the ring, but was laid out by Miz. Axelmania ripped his t-shirt to distract Miz, and Macho laid out Miz, and Axel dropped the leg. Yeah, the meta powers. Brian, Macho, and Axel did the pose down to close the segment. Whatever. Backstage, Eden interviewed Dean Ambrose. Ambrose said he feels no pressure on one hand because he has nothing to lose. On the other hand, he feels pressure in his building, hatred for the authority. He said punching Seth in the face is good for it. He said he wasn't worried about anyone interfering. Roman Reigns showed up and said he would be in Ambrose's corner tonight. And they went to the ring with JBL inside the chamber to explain the rules and show what it's like inside the structure to end the pre-show. And then the Elimination Chamber starts. They had a great video to open the show. Tag Team Champions, The New Day versus Primetime Players versus the Los Matadors versus the Ascension versus Tyson Kidd and Cesaro and versus the Lucha Dragons. Torito went to the top of the pod and stayed there. So he's getting involved at some point. Natalia sadly did not do the same. The Ascension and the Lucha Dragons are starting off. The Ascension tried to bully the Dragons, but were upended by the Dragons' aerial moves. The Dragons worked over Connor. Calista went to the top of a pod, but were grabbed by New Day. That left Sin Cara to be beaten by Ascension, who then came after Callisto. The crowd was all over New Day. Callisto kicked them down. Sin Cara climbed up to another pod and nailed a swanton on Victor. Callisto went for a move, but New Day grabbed his legs and pulled him down, crotching him. The next team released were Cesaro and Tyson Kidd. They double-teamed Cara before turning their attention to the Ascension. And they nailed a variation of 3D with an uppercut for a 2 count on Connor. And Cesaro drilled Callisto with an uppercut while he was trapped on the top of the pod, then nailed a big superplex that showed off Cesaro's strength. Kidd nailed a springboard elbow, but Cara broke up the pin. All three teams battled with some good action. The next team was then released was the Los Matadors as Torito dove off the top, dove off the pod and nailed a Rana. Callisto climbed to the top of the chamber, hung upside down, then dropped on everyone. Well, that was insane. The Ascension wiped out one of the Matadors. Torito climbed to the top of the chamber and dropped down on them. They caught him, charged, and tossed him at the other Matador, then hit the Fallen Man for the pin. This is the best the Ascension has looked since making it to the main roster. The Ascension then wiped out and pinned Callisto, wiping out the Lucha Dragons as well. This left them with Kidd and Cesaro. The teams battled back and forth, with the Ascension getting the better of them. Primetime Players were out next, brawling with the Ascension. Titus manhandled Victor and looked great. The players double-teamed Victor and pinned him, eliminating the Ascension. The players began working over Kidd and Cesaro. Cesaro cut off Darren Young with a standing drop kick to the top rope. Cesaro went for a top rope gut wrench superplex on Young, but Titus slipped underneath and nailed a power bomb. Cool looking spot. Tyson worked over Titus with but was caught with a spine buster, and Young covered Kidd, but Cesaro broke up the pinfall. New Day were the last team released, and they attacked everyone. Everyone battled over a suplex. And in the end, the challenger suplexed over the champions. Kid of Cesaro attacked Xavier Woods and shoved him back into the pod, closing it. They began working over Kingston and went for a big swing into a Kid drop kick. Young rolled up Cesaro from behind and scored the surprise pin. Now it's down to New Day versus Primetime players as New Day worked them over 3-on-2. They beat down Young, then beat down Titus against the chains of the structure, then went after Young again, but he ducked a clothesline and knocked Woods and Kingston off the top. Young sent Big E into one of the pods. Then the players worked over New Day, sending them into the steel and the chains on the outside. Titus nailed Big E with a big clothesline after tossing him into the ring. Darren Young nailed the gutbuster on Kingston for a close 2 count. Young nailed the cactus clothesline over the top to the steel outside. Big E then drilled him with an overhead belly-to-belly suplex on the steel as New Day swarmed over Titus and piled up and all pinned him. Winners and still tag team champions, New Day sucks. New Day sucks. New Day sucks. A really good chamber match. Primetime players had essentially looked the best that they've looked in well forever. Lots of crazy spots and dives, especially the Callisto and Torito spots. A good opening with a lot of hard work. They noted that Rusev suffered a fractured foot and would not be competing, so he is to be replaced. Backstage, Dolph Ziggler told Lana how much he wanted to beat Rusev first. She said it wasn't about Rusev, but about getting the Intercontinental title. Ziggler said that when he came back with the belt, maybe it would be about them. Lana said she would like that, but Ziggler said he was going to go do what he does better than anyone. Divas champion Nikki Bella versus Paige versus Naomi. No Brie or Tamina, with the story being that they were banned by authority from ringside. All three went after each other. Nikki kicked Naomi down and Paige went after her. Nikki was pulled to the outside and sent into the ringside announcer's table. Paige grabbed Naomi by the hair and pulled her back in the ring, working her over. Nikki returned, but couldn't get it going and was tossed back to the floor. Naomi worked over Paige, nailing a nice suplex. She placed Paige on top rope and began working her over. I was thinking about some twin magic in this, and guess what? What happened? Well, I'll let you know. She tried to set up for a back suplex, but Nikki slipped underneath with a power bomb. Nikki covered each of her challengers for a 2 count. Paige locked on the PTO on Nikki, but was drop kicked by Naomi and got a 2 count. Naomi went to the ropes, but Paige grabbed her and placed her on the shoulders. Naomi nailed a reverse Rana, which looked scary as hell. Paige went to the floor. Nikki nails Naomi, scored with the rack attack, shock treatment, and grabbed the pinfall. Your winner is still Divas champion Nikki Bella. Well, I'll spoil that for all. Brie came out to celebrate afterwards. A decent match. They worked really hard. The reverse Rana scared the hell out of the reporter. Like I said, that match I didn't get to see. Too much buffering in it. And what have you. Next up, we got the new United States champion, John Cena versus Kevin Owens, the NXT champion. It's a cliche, but this really is the biggest match of Owens' career. You could tell parts of the crowd knew who he was and were chanting for him. This was a nice big fight feel to this one. For the entrances, they locked up and Owens' chant got louder. They went into a crisscross exchange that ended with Cena shoulder blocking Owens. They went to lock up again, but Owens kicked Cena in the gut and then worked Cena with a right hand and a couple of knees in the corner. Then Cena reversed an Irish whip into the corner and nailed the Bulldog. Undaunted, Owens nailed Cena and beat him down on the apron. Owens whipped Cena into the buckles with authority and badmouthed Cena as he worked him over with right hands for a near fall. Then locked Cena in a Chinlock City. Cena tried to power out and finally did, grabbing him for the attitude adjustment. But Owens slipped out and nailed the DDT for a 2 count, which for a nice exchange. Owens continued to work over Cena, who responded with a series of right hands before nailing a shoulder tackle. Owens caught Cena for a high cross body block and nailed the crucifix bomb for a 2 count. Owens nailed the cannonball in the corner, scored the 2 count, and wasn't happy about not getting the 3. Owens yelled, "Never give up. It's time to give up, Johnny boy." And Cena fired back, avoided the pop-up powerbomb, and nailed all of his signature offense. He nailed the 5 knuckle shuffle on Owens and went for the attitude adjustment as the whole entire feed shuts off. Cena lost Owens and was caught with the pop-up powerbomb for a 2 count. Owens went to the top rope, but was crotched by Cena. Cena went to the top, but was fought off. Owens went for a reverse moonsault, but Cena moves out of the way and nails the attitude adjustment. But Owens kicked up at the last second. The battle continues with back and forth, right hands, and Owens nails a super kick that wiped out Cena. Owens mocked Cena's mannerisms and went for the 5 knuckle shuffle, but was caught in the SGF. Owens tried to fight to the ropes, but Cena pulled him back. That allowed Owens to toss him off and nail the attitude adjustment himself for a 2 count. Cena caught Owens with a tornado DDT for another 2 count. He nailed his leg chop off the top, but Owens pulled Cena up and drilled him with the right hand, yelling at Cena to stay down. Owens missed a clothesline, but was caught with a springboard stunner for a 2 count. Yeah, John Cena's new move. Cena placed Owens on top, but Owens turned it into a DVDR, only to see Cena kick up. Owens nailed the Swanton again, no 3 count. Owens charged Cena, but was killed with a clothesline. Owens caught Cena with a pop-up powerbomb and scored pinfall. Your winner, WWE NXT Champion, Kevin Owens. Well, I guess that one wasn't a title shot. So Kevin Owens just defeated John Cena. A Star is Born, and they're throwing babies all over the arena. Well, all over the internet. Really damn good match. And I have to admit, according to the PW Insider, it was the reporter. You're totally surprised by the clean finish, and this is well worth going out on your way to see. Yeah, see it on your replays of the pay-per-view on the network. Owen took the mic after the match, said on his first night of Raw, he said anyone who didn't know him wasn't worth his time, but now everyone knows who Kevin Owens is. He said he's the one who started a fight with John Cena. He's also the one who just finished that fight. Owens said that now he's beaten Cena. He has some veteran advice for Cena. It's time, Cena, to go. Because Owens' time is now, because the champ is here. Then we get Bo Dallas versus Neville. Dallas did some mic work on the way to the ring. Said he was trying to help Neville, but now he's going to force Neville to leave. NXT chants at the bell. They went back and forth early. Neville scored a series of kicks and did all of it was really great looking athletic maneuvers. He went to the top, but Dallas rolled outside. It wasn't safe there and ate a moonsault to the floor. Back in the ring, he locked the chin lock. Dallas escaped and tried to tell Neville that they were really friends. Dallas whipped out an old NXT favorite move of mine, rolling up Neville near the ropes and sending him to the floor. Dallas beat down Neville and scored with a big clothesline. Dallas controlled the match for a long time, beating down Neville. It's probably the most TV time Dallas has ever gotten, and being on offense and forever. Dallas played to the crowd like a babyface to mock them. Neville finally slipped free, and Dallas took a crazy spot where he slid out of the ring, but not before smacking his face on the bottom turnbuckle. Bo then returned, and Neville nailed a series of right hands and got a drop kick. Neville nailed a flying forearm and a standing shooting star press for a 2 count. Dallas nailed the DDT, but only scores a 2 count. Dallas went for the bulldog, but was tossed off and nailed. Then Neville went to the top for the Red Arrow and scored the win. Good solid match. Best Dallas has had a chance to show in some time, and Neville did all of his spots. Good showing from both guys. Backstage, his segment with Triple H found Dean Ambrose and Roman Reigns. He said it was admirable. Reigns wanted to be in Dean's corner, but he doesn't have the authority to do that. Kane will be there in official capacity, but Reigns would just be a distraction. He told Reigns that if he gets involved, Dean will be DQ'd. Vacant Intercontinental Championship inside the chamber match. Dolph Ziggler versus Bad News Barrett versus Sheamus versus mystery opponent, who turns out to be Mark Henry versus Ryback versus R-Truth. Daniel Bryan was at ringside. Mr. Competitor Mark Henry. He's from Texas, so that's a good surprise for the local fans. Barrett and Ziggler will start out as they did. Network feed died again. Had to reboot. Even the reporter, his feed went out. They had to reboot their Roku to get the network going again. And when it returned, Ziggler was down and Barrett was attacking Truth and his pod open. I guess Barrett had been having a good showing so far. Truth began nailing some offense and scored a 2 count coming off a missile drop kick. Truth nailed a scissor kick, but Barrett rolled to the corner. Truth nailed a stinger splash, but was caught with a winds of change. Black hole slam for a 2 count. Ziggler returned to the fray, but was nailed with a super kick to the face for another 2 count. Barrett drilled Ziggler into Mark Henry's pod, shattering it. Henry entered the bout and began working over Barrett, nailing a slam and a leg drop. Henry scored a 2 count. Ryback was released and then slugged it out with Henry. Ryback nailed a series of shoulder blocks in the corner and then tackled him down for a 2 count. Network went out again. When it returned, Barrett had been eliminated. Ryback, Ziggler, and Henry and Truth all started battling with each other. Sheamus was released and they all waited for him. The door was stuck, supposedly, and they couldn't get the door open. Others all used that distraction to try rolling each other up. Ryback, Ziggler, and Truth all decided to team up and work over on Henry. That lasted for a short time until Ryback nailed Truth with a shell shock and scored the pin. Truth eliminated. With Henry down, Ryback nailed the delayed vertical suplex on Ziggler. Ryback went for the meat hook, but Ziggler drilled him with a kick. Sheamus finally got out of the pod and sent Ziggler into the pod's plexiglass. Yeah, he had something blocking the door. He knocked Ryback over the ropes onto the steel. He began beating down Henry with stomps but was grabbed. And Sheamus avoided the world's strongest slam, but was nailed with a splash for a 2 count. Henry picked up Sheamus for a move, but Sheamus slipped out and nailed the brogue kick for the pin. Henry was eliminated. Ziggler and Sheamus went back and forth as Ryback was out on the steel. Sheamus missed a charge and was caught with a DDT for a 2 count. Ryback returned and ate a super kick. Sheamus missed the brogue kick. Ziggler missed a famouser. Sheamus wiped him out and scored the pin. Ziggler eliminated. The crowd didn't like that one. It's down to Ryback and Sheamus. Sheamus nailed the over the shoulder power slam for a 2 count. Sheamus called for the brogue kick and gloated, but Ryback came back alive. And with strikes of big forearms, Sheamus kicked him off during a charge, but was caught with a power slam. Ryback called for the meat hook, but Sheamus rolled out to the outside and tried to recuperate, then got back inside his pod. Ryback followed and they battled. Sheamus nailed him with a white noise on the steel, but Ryback got his shoulder up at the last second. So he only got a 2 count, and Sheamus began beating Ryback with clubbing shots across the chest. Ryback pulled him outside and Sheamus nailed the steel hard. He came back with a rolling Samoan drop on the steel. Sheamus went for the road kick, but Ryback caught him and powerbombed him into the steel, and then from the steel into the ring. And then Ryback nailed shell shock and scored the pinfall. Winner and new Intercontinental Champion, Ryback. Solid match with everyone working hard, but I never felt that this got into third gear where the things were awesome. It was easily the biggest win of Ryback's career. Sheamus and Ziggler, really good showings. Daniel Bryan entered the ring and said congratulations are in order. Bryan asked the crowd if Ryback deserved it and said he believes Ryback deserved it. He handed the belt to Ryback. Ryback said that Bryan isn't just an inspiration to the people, but also to him, and thanked Bryan. World Heavyweight Champion Seth Rollins with Kane and Double J security versus Dean Ambrose. Lillian Garcia was back for the main event. Well, it's the only one time I even saw her during the entire pay-per-view. Introducing formal introductions for the main event. Ambrose controlled Rollins early on to start the match. Rollins made a comeback, but Ambrose's usual antics kept him off guard. Ambrose nailed the guillotine leg drop and then went to the top, but Double J security got on the apron to distract him. Rollins tied Ambrose to the tree of woe and worked him over. He drilled him across the back with a series of kicks before cinching in a side chin lock to wear him down. The crowd was all over Rollins with Justin Bieber chants. Ambrose finally escaped, but was sent into the turnbuckles face first and rolled up for a 2 count. Rollins measured and punched Ambrose over and over again. Ambrose made a comeback, but was nailed with a body press for a 2 count. Rollins and Double J security complained to the referee about his count. Rollins began picking apart Ambrose. Rollins sent Ambrose into the ropes and they went for a crossbody at the same time and were both down. Referee began counting them down, but they returned to their feet. Ambrose began beating down Rollins. They went into a nice series of pinfall reversals. Rollins missed a big kick. Ambrose nailed the sit out face first powerbomb. Then Rollins was sent into the corner, but Double J security pulled him out to the floor. Ambrose hit a tope through the ropes to the outside. He and Rollins tumbled over the announcer's table. Ambrose tossed Rollins back into the ring. He went for a backslide, but Rollins reversed it and tried to use the ropes to his advantage, but the referee saw it and prevented it. Double J security tried to argue, but were knocked off the apron. Ambrose rolled up Rollins for a 2 count. He went for another, but Rollins rolled through and nailed the super kick. Rollins went to the top, but Ambrose cut him off. Then they battled on the top rope, and Rollins went for a sunset flip powerbomb. They ended up tumbling over the top to the floor. Double J security got involved again, but Ambrose backed him down. They allowed Rollins to nail him from behind. Rollins nailed a running powerbomb into the barricade outside for a 2 count. Rollins nailed flying knee for a 2 count. Then nailed an inverted DDT for a 2 count. And verbally tore at Ambrose, then drilled him in the corner. Ambrose tried to fire back, but was nailed again. He exploded into offense, including a tornado DDT for a near fall. Rollins tried to leave, but was called up in the ropes by Ambrose, who nailed a drop kick to the chest. Rollins made a comeback, but was caught with the rebound lariat for a 2 count. Ambrose came off the top with a big elbow for a 2 count. Ambrose set up for dirty deeds, but Double J security got on the apron. Ambrose went after them, allowing Rollins to nail a kick and send Ambrose over the top to the floor with a clothesline. They announced Ambrose as the new WWE World Heavyweight Champion, but because Ambrose did get he nailed the dirty deeds and got the pinfall. Well, of course, the referee got bumped. As the second referee came in, he got 3 count. First referee returned after some posing from Ambrose and told the second referee that what Seth Rollins did. Dusty finished. They told Lillian that Dean did win, but by disqualification, so Seth is still the champion because the rules are you can only win the championship by pinfall or submission. The Authority asked Ambrose, who refused to give up the title belt. Roman Reigns' music hit. Since the match is over, Rollins tried to escape, and everyone waited for Reigns to come out from the crowd. Reigns ran down the ramp and nailed the Superman punch on Rollins. He and Ambrose wiped out Kane and Double J Security. Ambrose held on to the title belt and took the mic. He said he won the match and he's taking the belt. Rollins wanted to do something but was outnumbered. Reigns and Ambrose left through the crowd. And that ended where the network goes off the air again. And that ended the pay-per-view, and it also ends my results. So, thanks again. Peace out. God bless. See you while I be here. And if you don't know, you better call me, bro.